Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy Zeta, and in this video, I'm going to be proving that the Tournament of Power is outerversal. Yes, Ultra Instinct Goku, Jiren, all the greatest Tournament Power fighters are all outerversal in scaling. The World of Void lacks the concepts of space and time. So because it lacks the concepts of space and time, it's going to create either two options. A, it's a zero-dimensional space, or B, it's an outerversal space.
Rush argument, we are both taught and shown that he has both space and time when he has literally bended the space of the World of Void to make portals, and he skipped and slowed down the time of the World of Void. Goku and that Yardrat literally use instant transmission, which works by bending space, and even Beerus's own statement states that time exists, which just makes it an oxymoron. Since the Spanish sticker guide is literally based on that statement, it would make it no more reliable. If the World of Void waxed the concept of space and time, it would have to be a metaphysical realm that exists outside of the physical, and for it to be outerversal, it must transcend all physical things and exist above all space and time and be independent of all of them. To suggest that the World of Void fits that description just shows that you cannot power scale, because it's literally stated to exist within a timeline and within a time rift. Distortions in space and time affect the World of Void, and the World of Void exists within parallel quests, which are timelines created by time fragments. And people reach it by moving through space-time. So it's physically contained within a spatio-temporal dimension, it's affected by spatio-temporal distortions, it's created by time, and people reach it by moving through space-time. This does not fit a metaphysical realm transcending the physical.
By the Grand Priest is a place that is suitable enough to allow fighters to fight with their heart's content. This would imply that this place is more durable than the entire Universe 7 macrocosm, where Goku could not fight to his heart's content.
It's never stated to be more durable than the universe, it's just stated that since it's empty and there is nothing for them to destroy, they won't have to worry about anything. It's no different from how the Z fighters move to isolated places when they fight.
Because he was struggling to control his energy and control his power to prevent Beerus from destroying the entire Universe 7 macrocosm.
You're using the one time Goku had no control over his power, ignoring how Goku has no issue fighting for his life ever since without destroying as much as a city.
However, there are people who believe that this scaling does not count as outerversal because of these really bad arguments that they keep making within the community. So I'm just going to be debunking all of the really bad arguments as this video progresses, and yeah, so just kind of adding more closure to the scaling. The next argument is that because Hit can use his time powers, then the World of Void has time. Because if the World of Void did not have time, then Hit would not be able to use his time powers. But this argument is really bad because at the beginning of the Tournament of Power, the Grand Priest concedes to the fact that the Tournament of Power has its own rules, like preventing users from being capable of flying, etc., etc. So logically, in order to make things fair, especially for a fighter like Hit, the Grand Priest would need to be adding a rule that would allow Hit to use his time skip to balance things out because the World of Void does not have time. So it would be this own artificial time or artificial rule that would allow it to even work in the first place.
This argument contains so many assumptions and headcanons that it might as well be an entire fanfiction. Beta is like a little child trying to play pretend. His premise is that the space, time, and gravity in the World of Void are some sort of imaginary artificial space, time, and gravity that are different, but still somehow work the exact same way. At this point, he's literally making things up that don't even exist. Even definitionally, his statement makes no sense, since if a character creates a space, that doesn't change the fact that it's a space and it behaves like a space. The fact is that we are taught that Hit skips and slows down time, not that he skips and slows time at some non-time thing that just happens to work the exact same way. It's stated that Peneraza bends space, not that he bends some non-space thing that just happens to work the exact same way. Occam's razor is a very powerful tool, especially when people like Beta make such pathetic arguments. And now we can just argue that what the Grand Priest did is no different from simply controlling gravity as opposed to him using some non-gravity that just happens to work the exact same way. We've already seen even Hearts use gravity manipulation. In fact, Whis directly confirms that all Grand Priest did was simply modify the gravity of that space. Not that he created some non-gravity non-space thing that works the same. So he did was use space and gravity manipulation to affect the already existing gravity of the World of Void's space.
Argument is that because the Tournament of Power is measured in time through like 100 tacks, aka 40 minutes, must mean that the World of Void has time. But this argument is really bad because the fact that the World of Void doesn't even have time and space would support the idea that they would have to use something like this so that people can understand the tournament in earthly time terms to understand on how much time has passed on Earth or how much time has passed on other planets that these other universes even come from. Because no time passes in the World of Void. A sentence over the concept of space and time would give anyone that is having the ability to move in a place like that a relevant speed.
Except if time didn't pass in the World of Void and the characters moved at immeasurable or irrelevant speed, the tournament would have ended before any time passed on Earth.
And it would be better to go with this as the case rather than having to try to find a contradiction, because this has no contradiction and it perfectly explains everything more logically.
We don't need to look for any contradictions because the statement is self-contradictory. False statements exist, and just presuming that the first half is an absolute truth just because it's stated shows that you can't scale or reason on any respectable level.